Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. I am so excited that we are starting this week together today. I'm sure you may have noticed on whatever platform you are tuning in from, whether it be YouTube or podcast via Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever it is, that we have undergone a little bit of a rebrand over here. So I spent most of my weekend preparing for this rebrand, getting all of the logos done, getting all of the social media flipped over, getting all of the branding kind of refigured out. And I'm really excited to announce that we are no longer the Do the Work podcast. It is now It's All Happening. If you listened to last Monday's update episode, you'll know that I've been toying around with a couple different changes on the show. The biggest ones being turning it into a daily episode show, so a daily show, which I started doing that last week and I absolutely loved it. One, I just loved it, took the pressure off because I didn't feel like I had to have this absolutely perfect 1 hour long episode because I only got to put out content once a week and it just needed to be perfect. So it took the pressure off of that. It made it feel a lot more conversational and it made me feel like I could talk about a lot more things and that I could add in a lot more of my personality and a lot more of my personal life. And I really, really liked that. So we're going to keep going with daily episodes. I'm going to try and get them posted early Eastern time before work. May not always happen as life gets a little bit crazy, but that is the goal. Nonetheless, there will be daily episodes every day, Monday through Friday, occasionally on the weekends, depending what's going on in my life, but most definitely every day, Monday through Friday. And then I also mentioned a big change that I was really conflicted with, toying around with, trying to make a decision on was making a name change. And I finally pulled the trigger. I chose It's All Happening for two reasons. One, I wanted a show that was not super niched down. I wanted a show that I felt like I could talk about a lot of different things on, a lot of different things that were interesting to me or that were just on my mind, happening in my life, things that y'all write into me about. I wanted a show that didn't feel like I was put into a box in any way. And so it's all happening. Like it's all happening here. It is all happening here on this show. We talk about it all, we unbox it all, we go through it all. No topic is off limits. And that is exactly the vibe that I wanted it to give. And I wanted it to be more playful. Do the work. While I loved that name and I loved the branding that I had started to do around it, it felt a little serious. It felt a little serious for my liking. I didn't love that. Like, I felt like I couldn't get outside of the motivational and inspirational vibe that the show had going on. And so much of it felt that way because the name was so strong, right? Like, do the work. We're going to talk about doing the work. We're going to talk about doing the work on yourself, doing the work on your life. It's going to feel very motivational, personal development, growth, habits, mindsets. And I love all of that. I love all of that. And it is still a huge part of my personality. It is the biggest part of the journey that I am on right now. And I am going to continue to share that kind of content, but I also wanted to open the show up in other areas as well. And so that is why I wanted to bring it a little bit more casual with the name, a little bit more playful, a little bit more all encompassing, and also, do the work never stops. There is always going to be work that we need to do on ourselves. There's always going to be work that we need to do on our lives. There's always going to be work to be done. And I don't know if it was just me getting finally being at like 6 months sober or just really feeling like I was getting my feet up underneath me. I don't know, but it really had me sitting back and reflecting when I was trying to come up with names and like trying to figure out what I wanted it to be. I kept thinking, like, I feel like it's all starting to happen for me. I feel like the things that I'm working for and the work that I'm doing, I feel like the pieces are finally starting to come together for me. I feel like I'm starting to see the work pay off. I feel like it's all happening. It's all happening. So and again, this journey is never ending. The work never stops. The things that I will want to happen for myself and for my life will be ever evolving and changing. And that's kind of the point, is that I want this show to be able to grow and evolve with me over the years as I grow and evolve, as my life changes, as my lifestyle changes, as my choices may change. Like, I want the show to be able to breathe with me. And so that is what I'm hoping that this new name and this new branding will be able to do for me. So far, if you go and look at my social medias, you'll see on the It's All Happening pod Instagram that I've got some serious branding going on the feed. So I'm trying out that vibe, and I really want to know what y'all think about that in the comments. I want to know if y'all kind of like the vibe that I'm doing, if you like the colors, if you like just the way that the aesthetic, if you like the way that it's looking. I really want it to have a branded look on Instagram. I really want it to feel like you know what's going on when you come to the page, right? So that's where my head's at there. So when it comes to social media, I want to kind of break this down for y'all. So really why I'm doing these brand update episodes is because when I was starting to create content, so badly, I just wanted to understand the thought processes of the creators that I was watching on YouTube and listening to via podcast. I wanted to actually understand their thought process on like how they made the decisions that they made that like got them to where they were. So that is the point of these brand update episodes, is that I want to clue you in into what's going on up here. And I'm sure things will continue to change and I may revert back, or I may go back on, things that I'm saying, but I want to be able to share the thought process with y'all and kind of let you in behind the scenes. So, when it comes to social media, this is probably my least favorite part of doing this podcast and creating this brand, is having to keep up with social media so heavily across so many different platforms. It's a lot. It's a lot to take on. It's a lot to be thinking about. It's a lot to, when you're doing things in your life, to kind of always have the social media content creation hat on. It can get a little exhausting, but I think that's just because I haven't found my rhythm in it yet. I do not feel confident in short form content at all. Like making like lifestyle type reels and TikToks and things like that. Like I don't feel confident in that yet, and that's something that I've just got to start putting out content like that and getting better at it, and I know that. And that's kind of what I'm changing about my social media plan, right? So, previous to this, when everything was branded Do the Work, I had Do the Work TikTok, Do the Work YouTube channel, to Do the Work Instagram. Everything was branded Do the Work, right? And I had my one personal Instagram page. And I liked that, except that again, it felt like that. It felt like the brand and the messaging was all that was getting out there. There was none of me happening in my social media at all, really. And I didn't love that. I didn't love that. I think that a realization I came to was that so much about the podcasts that I personally listen to, and the creators that I personally follow, is about becoming invested in who the person is. Like I listen to you and I follow your content because I like who you are, as well as the message that you're putting across. But I like who you are. I want to follow you, right? So I feel like I really need to start incorporating more lifestyle content of my own, about my own life. And so when doing this rebrand, my thought process was that I will have one Instagram for me personally. I will have one Instagram for the podcast. It's all happening.pod on Instagram. My TikTok will be my personal branded TikTok. And my thought process on TikTok is to do a lot more lifestyle type content, a lot more of the behind the scenes of making the podcast and having the brand and all of that. Because really, right now, all I was doing was repurposing the same reel across YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and Instagram Reels. It was the same content on all three platforms. And I don't think that that was serving the correct purpose because people go to these platforms for different types of content, right? And different looks and feels of content. And so I really want to start to create tailored content for the platform, but also for the audience that's on that platform. And also for me, I want to start to branch out on the content that I create and get more confident in different types of content. And so on TikTok, I want it to be a lot more of lifestyle and behind the scenes and really getting to know me and my personality and what I like to do and my life overall. And of course, I'll have my personal Instagram, which will be the same kind of deal. And then the podcast will have its own Instagram, which will be a lot of the short form clips from the episodes and things like that. And more informative content, right? So my personal stuff will be more entertaining. The podcast stuff will be more informative. And then on YouTube is where I'm going to mix both. So I reverted the YouTube channel back to my name. And then all of the branding on the page is for the podcast. So it's a little bit of both. And of course, every podcast episode will have a full video upload. Full video episodes uploaded on the YouTube channel, but I also want to start to incorporate more. I want to do vlogs. I want to do vlogs so bad. I wanted to start doing vlogging literally years ago, and I kicked myself for not doing it. But here we are. We're doing it now. That's all that matters. But I want to start doing some vlogs, and I want to like really get into me and what I like and my personality and the podcast and all of it together. So Instagram and TikTok is going to be kind of a separate type of content depending on what page you're on. And then YouTube's going to kind of merge them all together. And I think I'm really going to like kind of putting the social media in their different buckets and making the tailored content and really connecting with the audience that wants to be connected with on that platform. I think that that's going to help me a lot when it comes to reaching an audience and also the algorithm that we all have to know to come and love, and just overall being able to reach more of y'all across different platforms the way that y'all want to be reached with the content that y'all want to be reached. And I'm excited. I'm really excited. I hope that y'all like the new brand as much as I do. I like the iteration that I have out right now. Obviously, the artwork might change, the overall branding might change. The name's here to stick. I love it. We're going to stick with it. And yeah, I'm just going to see where it takes me. I'm excited to keep doing these daily episodes. I like that they're short, sweet, punchy. You get to get in with me every single day, get a little taste of it, and then start your day, go about your day, whatever it may be. And I really, really love that. And this works a lot better in my lifestyle right now and in my workflow. So far, so good. This was a really fun project for me, getting to rebrand. It challenged me on a creative level, challenged me on a mental level too, because I tell myself a lot in my head that I'm not a creative person, which I'm creating content. So I am a creative person. I know that I'm a creative person. And when I do these types of branding, rebranding, social media type projects, it really does challenge my creative side and challenge my mental side as well to kind of work on flipping that script around my creativity. So It's been a great project. I want to hear what y'all think about it in the comments. Drop me some DMs, however it is that you want to get in touch with me. I would love to know what y'all think about the rebrand, what you kind of think about the path that the podcast is on. And obviously, I will link all of the platforms in the description below. Please be sure to follow me across all platforms. Please be sure to, however you are consuming this content today, please be sure to like, share, rate, follow, comment, subscribe, do all of the things. I will see you back tomorrow.